4.5 billion years ago, our planet was born out of fire and chaos. In the beginning, Earth was nothing like the world we know today. It was forged from the swirling clouds of dust and gas that circled the young sun when tiny particles collided and stuck together, growing into rocks, then into larger bodies. Over millions of years, gravity pulled more and more material in until a glowing sphere of molten rock emerged. That sphere was the newborn Earth. But this early Earth was hostile and violent. Its surface was a hell of flowing lava, toxic gases, and constant asteroid strikes. Lightning flashed through thick clouds of poison, and the atmosphere was suffocating. Scientists call this period the Hadean Eon, from the word Hades, meaning hell. For hundreds of millions of years, Earth glowed like a burning ember in space, a place where no life could survive. Then, something extraordinary happened. A Mars-sized planet, known as Theia, drifted dangerously close to Earth. Pulled by gravity, the two worlds collided in a cataclysm beyond imagination. Rock and metal vaporized instantly, and molten fragments were hurled into orbit. For a time, Earth was surrounded by a glowing ring of debris. Slowly, those fragments gathered together, merging into a smaller body. That body became the Moon. From that moment, Earth's spin stabilized. Its days and nights became regular, and tides began to shape the oceans that were yet to come. After this collision, Earth began to cool. Its fiery crust hardened, though lava still poured from cracks in the surface. Steam and gases billowed into the air, thickening the sky. And then came the rains. For millions of years, water fell endlessly, cooling the land, filling craters, and carving valleys. Torrential rains turned into rivers, and rivers joined to form vast oceans. From space, Earth transformed from a glowing red sphere into a shimmering blue planet. By 4 billion years ago, our world was covered in water, setting the stage for the most important chapter of all: the origin of life. Deep in the oceans, around hydrothermal vents, hot mineral-rich fluids gushed from the seafloor. Here, in these dark and extreme conditions, chemistry came alive. Simple molecules formed, collided, and bonded together. Over immense stretches of time, these molecules assembled into structures capable of replicating themselves. Around 3.8 billion years ago, the first primitive single-celled organisms appeared. They were fragile, but they multiplied and spread. These microbes left behind layered rocky structures known as stromatolites, some of which can still be found today. Life had begun, but it was still small and simple. For billions of years, the oceans were filled only with microscopic life. Among them were cyanobacteria, tiny organisms that changed the planet forever. They captured sunlight, using photosynthesis to release oxygen as waste. At first, this oxygen was absorbed by the oceans, reacting with iron to form rusty red rocks on the seafloor. But eventually, oxygen filled the seas and began to leak into the atmosphere. This was the Great Oxidation event. Around 2.5 billion years ago, the skies slowly turned blue, and the air became breathable for new forms of life. Without this transformation, nothing complex could ever have existed. And so, life grew more complicated. Around 541 million years ago, the oceans experienced what scientists call the Cambrian explosion. In a relatively short time, an incredible diversity of organisms appeared. Trilobites crawled across the seafloor. Sponges filtered water, and early fish-like creatures developed primitive eyes. For the first time, predators hunted prey, ecosystems formed, and evolution raced forward. This explosion of life created the ancestors of nearly all major animal groups alive today. Soon, life left the oceans and conquered the land. Plants crept onto shorelines, spreading green across barren rock. Insects and arthropods followed, crawling onto land and taking to the skies. Forests of giant ferns grew tall, buzzing with dragonflies the size of hawks. Reptiles emerged. Their scaly bodies adapted to the dry air. By 300 million years ago, Earth was covered in forests and swamps, and its continents had collided into a single giant landmass known as Pangaea. Then came the age of dinosaurs. For more than 180 million years, dinosaurs ruled the Earth. In the Triassic, small and agile species appeared. By the Jurassic, enormous sauropods towered above forests, while predators like Allosaurus stalked the plains. In the Cretaceous, pterosaurs soared across coastlines, flowering plants spread, and Earth was more diverse than ever before. But 65 million years ago, disaster struck. A massive asteroid crashed into what is now Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. The impact unleashed firestorms, earthquakes, and a cloud of ash that blocked sunlight for years. Plants withered, animals starved, and the age of dinosaurs ended in one of the greatest mass extinctions in Earth's history. In the silence that followed, mammals rose. Once small and hidden in the shadows, they now flourished. They grew into new forms. Saber-toothed cats prowled the grasslands. Giant sloths lumbered across forests. And early horses ran in herds. Among them, primates appeared. Agile, intelligent creatures swinging through tropical trees. Over millions of years, some primates began to walk upright. Australopithecus left footprints in African soil, while Homo habilis struck stones together, shaping the first tools. Homo erectus followed, spreading across continents, mastering fire, and carrying tools wherever they went. Finally, around 200 years ago, Homo sapiens emerged. Our own species had arrived. With rough hands, humans struck stones to create sparks, harnessing the power of fire. Around campfires, they gathered in groups, sharing warmth, food, and the first beginnings of language and culture. Along fertile rivers, they planted seeds, farmed the land, and built villages of mud and stone. From these small beginnings, civilizations arose. Humans built pyramids, temples, and walls, monuments that still stand as echoes of their ambition. Today, from space, Earth glows with city lights across continents. Our modern world of machines, steel, and glass stands on a foundation laid over billions of years of change. From fire and chaos, to oceans and microbes, to forests, dinosaurs, mammals and people. This is the story of our planet. And yet, it is only the beginning. For next comes the story of nations, where humanity's past unfolds in all its detail. If you want to follow this journey, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Each episode will take you deeper into the mysteries of human history, from the very first civilizations to the modern world we live in today.